Yo, what's up guys? Mages got a huge buff in this update, and there's a new craftable legendary weapon available. You should definitely start farming it as soon as possible because Mage is the best class by far and has been for a long time. Also, there's a 2x material drops from Greg event that lasts for 4 days, so now's definitely the time to grind materials. The fastest way to farm the weapon, in my opinion, is as follows. Grind Desert Temple for Warforged Metals, Winter Outpost for Obsidian Chunks, Canals for Gold Bars, and finally King's Castle for Astral Amethysts. These are all easy dungeons and don't take much time to clear. You only need to be at least level 130 to one-shot everything in these dungeons. Keep in mind that you have to defeat Greg in each dungeon, not just clear it. If you're wondering which class to go for, this update will convince you to go Mage. Here are the 4 major reasons to become a Mage. Firstly, Mage has been the best class for years. Even with the craftable warrior weapon, Mage remains superior. Mages have the best spells because they usually have more range and more AoE for the same damage output as warriors. Since mages and warriors are fundamentally the same, mages having better spells invalidates warriors. For example, mages use Chainstorm and Yokai Peak, which is a spell with immense range, auto-aim, and auto-track, while some warriors still use spell Barrage from Gilded Skies. A portion of warriors still using a spell from an old dungeon shouldn't be a thing, because spells are supposed to become better the further you advance in the game, but it is what it is. This doesn't mean being a warrior is bad, it's just not optimal. Secondly, mages require less skill to use since their spells have more range and better AoE damage in general. There will always be some exceptions, like in Steampunk Sewers where warriors are better, but in most dungeons, mages are superior and easier to get into. Since mages were originally supposed to be the only spellcasters, it makes sense that they have more range and AoE than warriors. But in this day and age, warriors and mages play the same, yet mages have more advantages, so it makes more sense to become a mage if you're trying to maximize your run efficiency. Thirdly, mage gear has always been more valuable in trades. Since the mage class is obviously the better class, mage armors and weapons have more value than warrior ones. You will always need better warrior gear to trade for worse mage gear. This makes the economy way more profitable for mages. Warriors have to work more for the same output. And this problem's been around for years, but the devs never tried to fix it, which is odd. But they might fix the problem one day. At least we hope so. Lastly, mages don't suffer from any drawbacks. Even though they have more range and better spells, they have the same amount of HP as warriors, making them even more superior. Warriors are essentially mages with less range and less AoE, which doesn't make sense in a dungeon-themed game, but it is what it is. Hopefully the devs will make warriors have more HP or do more DPS to compensate. Maybe they should just nerf mages. Tell us your opinion in the comments section. If the devs decide to make warriors more warrior-like, they should also consider reviving other classes like Brute, Pure Tanks, and Pure Healers, instead of just having 2 classes in the game which are DPS dealers and guardians.